Hey, hello everyone. Let's build a business card case today. I used to run this case, the whole all my business cards. It was given to me by business partners of my company, and it kind of broke. So this is pretty cheaply made, but I had it for a couple of years. It held up pretty well, but let's do something better. And this is what I have. This is the back, and the flap is made out of Italian Buttero leather, all hand stitched with the H bronze fastener stamp right here. The beauty about this specific, that's my name engraved on top. So the beauty about having a Kydex case here is its durability. This is a hard case. It's 2mm Kydex. It's thermal molded. And what I'm doing here is I'm stitching through the Kydex into the leather. So I haven't seen anybody do this before, so that's what I came up with. And it's insanely strong. I mean, this is very durable. It holds about 15 to 20 cards. I have a little hidden pocket here. And yeah, why don't we make one today? That's nice. So this is what I have. On the design of this wallet / case, it's gonna be very unique because all of this, besides these two pieces, this piece over here, this is the Kydex trim model on my laser. So after it is molded, right, it's gonna be trimmed on a flat plane. So there's a lot of calculation that went into this. So that's what it's gonna look like. That's the Kydex part, which is the black piece over here. The back is a flap that wraps around all the way, right? And that piece up there is the doubler, which is this part. And basically what it does is it allows me to engrave anything back here, as well as having a little bit of stiffness when opening and closing the flap, right? This is gonna be remain one single layer throughout up to the doubler here. And that allows for flexibility and also ease of closing. All right, so that's what it looks like. Why don't we make one? So what I have here is a piece of 2mm thick Kydex. I like to keep the shiny side outwards, so it looks a little bit more, unless you want to go tactical and go flat. But that's what we're gonna do here. And the thing about Kydex is it is great. It is a very tough materials. That's my knife sheet here. It's made of Kydex. Pretty nice. It's riveted throughout. Right. Had this for many years, so it's pretty good. It's very durable. So what we're trying to do here is to have the durability of Kydex and the nice look of Italian leather and some nice contrast accent stitching throughout. So let's make one right now. First thing we're gonna do, I made a couple molds here. Again, if you can see here, there's a little bit of clearance between the two molds, and that's for the Kydex wall thickness to fall in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna heat this up. All right, we're gonna heat it up with my heat gun here. All right, we're gonna soften it and we're gonna mold it up. After that's heated, let's press the frame of the mold just like that. Make sure it is tight. Let's put the cap on. I put some pressure on this Just hold it for a few seconds until the Kydex cools down and hardens. Just take it out. That came out beautiful. Still a little warm. Just pop it out of the mold. That's a beautiful even radius. So we're gonna trim the bottom piece. The bottom piece we're gonna go with a nice recess design. So set this aside, and we're gonna load this into the laser. Then we're gonna run that trim profile on that flat plane. However, it's gonna just cut across this raised form shape. All right, so let's load this into the laser. All right, so after loading this into the lasers with some magnets and held in place with some tape, let's just trim it to the final size. Again, this is gonna be the final trim after molding of the Kydex. So let's make sure that we are tracking correctly. All right, let's cut it out. See what we got. Right. It's come up pretty good. Right. Everything is evenly punched. I love the Kydex. This is so stiff. This is great. Once you form it, it becomes super stiff. Once you have some geometry put into it. I mean, they make gun holsters out of this stuff, so this is super durable. The next thing we're gonna do is to cut the leather flap that is gonna go behind and around this, right? So that's what we have on the computer. The logos will be placed in such way. Let me go to the laser. 3.5 to 4 ounce Italian with Buttero leather in vegetable tan color. This is natural tan, so it's not dyed or anything. Let's track it, make sure nothing is hitting, and let's just go ahead and run it. Alright, so we got the leather came out pretty good. Right, so next thing we're gonna do is to cut and engrave the doubler. Right here is gonna be another piece of leather. It's gonna just add reinforcement when opening and closing it with your thumb. So that's what we have. That's the name. You're famous now. Let's cut it out. pretty good. Right, so next time is to burnish this edge right here, because once we assemble it together, it's hard to get a burnishing tool. So let's do some Tokonole burnishing cream. I have some in my small dispensing bottle. Just go ahead and apply a little bit on the edges. Spread it out. Use my burnishing tool here. Just seal those edges pretty good. Looks nice. Take my canvas back. Just buff it up and polish it. Right, that looks pretty good. Let's glue these two pieces together. So just go ahead and grab some Fiebing's Leathercraft cement. Some over here. I'm just gonna apply a little bit around the edges. That looks pretty good. And set this aside. Line it up and glue it. We can bring this in. You guys seen this before in my previous videos. This is my gluing jig, and I have a pair of 400 pounds toggle clamps here. So this is a line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lay it flat like this. Right. Put my piece of plexiglass right on top. Right, and just press it down like that. Just let it dry. While the leather part is drying, we can go ahead and set the male end of the snaps. So what we're gonna do is use one of these bronze, aged bronze fasteners here, snap fasteners. So that's for the leather side. This is for the Kydex side. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go behind this, like so, right? And we can just set it with one of the hammers and dies provided with the kit. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be noisy, so I'm just gonna cut the video right now and come back to it. All right, so the snap is pretty much set. That came out pretty good. All right, let's test it out. Beautiful. All right, so this is pretty much dry now. You just open it up. Let's see what we got. That came out pretty good. The next step is to sand off all the edges and just burnish it like I burnish this edge over here. So let's do that next. Let's trim off some of the excess edges here from the sanding. So I use my edge beveler tool. Just go around it. That looks good. Do the same on the outside. So I went ahead and finished cleaning and burnish all the edges. Nice and shiny, looks pretty good. Then the next thing that we're gonna do is to glue this piece onto that. I added a piece of tape here just to prevent the business card from catching the edge of the fastener. You won't be seeing so it's on the inside, but that works pretty well. So that's next. Let's just apply a thin bit of glue on the edges of the Kydex, right outside of the holes. It has to be really precise with the applicator too. So let's just glue it onto the leather onto the Kydex now, so let's just be careful. Make sure everything lines up. That looks pretty good. Temporarily, like that. Let's just go ahead and do that. Now we can set it aside and let it dry. Just like that. All right, the glue is pretty much dry now. Let's go ahead and do some stitching. A bit of dust here. All right. We're gonna stitch through the Kydex into the leather all the way around. And the reason why I'm not putting the fastener on this yet, the female part of the snap, is because I need to use my stitching horse to clamp the pieces together, so just to hold it where I throw some stitches on this thing. So let's just go ahead and clamp it down. I'm gonna stitch from the middle out towards me, and we're gonna use this turquoise Japanese Vinymo thread. So it looks really good. So I'm gonna start from the center out. Right. Make sure the length of both my needles are even. And let's start. Just one stitch. Stitch. And third stitch. So this is the last stitch. What I'm gonna do is just do a regular forward stitch, right? And on the last one, I'm gonna wanna have it on the other side. So I'm gonna go back here. Hopefully this works. And we're gonna go here and anchor the stitch both on the inside. So we're gonna finish it like this. So that's that's a double stitch right there that overlap on top of each other. So it's almost invisible. And we're gonna melt the ends on the inside. Make sure everything's snug. Just go ahead and snip this. Just go ahead and use my thread zapper to melt this. This one. That's two. I have nearly 2 invisible dots by anchoring those 2 threads, and that looks nice. Right. Let's put some hardware on the leather side. So the last step is to add the female end of the snap button here. So what I would do is take the button side, make sure it goes through, and make sure it's clean, and take the snap side and do it like so. And I have a little dome die here that will cradle, you know, that side of the snap, and just pound it in. Look at that. The internal flare looks good. There's almost no gap there. Let's test it out. Beautiful. And the beauty about using a snap like this, I thought about using magnets, but with magnets it would sit flush, and you ever want to carry credit cards in this, you run the risk of demagnetizing your cards. So having a snap like this, we create a little gap here so you can get your thumb on there and just open it up. And the stiffness and dimensions of the flap has been calculated, so you know you don't have to match it when you close it. It just falls naturally into place. That's a beautiful radius. Yeah, so let's take a quick look at the stitching. That is nice. 4.6 millimeter spacing all the way throughout. Also through the Kydex, all the way throughout. Okay, so let's throw some cards into this and try it out. All right, let's try this out. I got some business cards here. So I have about 10, 11 business cards here. You can carry up to 15 in this. I don't want to make it too thick, but 15 should be good enough, right? So let me see. Goes in easy. Snaps. Nice. You can feel a little bit more, but this is beautiful. Yeah. It's nice. Right. Check out the clearances. It's pretty good. Nice. Nice. It said that you want to carry use this as a wallet actually, because this is pretty freaking durable. That's the beauty about Kydex. I love heat molding these things. All right, so let's say you want to carry some Metro card and some credit cards and whatnot, right? You can do that too. Here's another thing. About 5, 6 bills. What? Carry them like this. So when you fold it, it will basically curve in. So when you open your wallet, the cash will be ready to be used. So good. Put it behind this. That's it. So it's not too bad as a wallet either. But you know, the main purpose is to carry business cards. So when you go to meetings and business trips, you know you're going with style. You know, and this will last forever. No, there's no way this is gonna deform. So, right, there you go. You know who you are. I had a lot of fun building this one, guys. Again, This is my personal one. Build another one. See you guys next time. Peace out.